Hi, I'm Rosemarie from the Unfinished Lesson, and I'm really excited that you're here. So we've been taking a look at how to make the most of your summer planning. And we've covered a few things already. In our first video, we looked at needs versus wants, and we need to focus on those needs versus the wants. In our second video, we took a look at what systems are and how they can really help us. And today we're going to be looking at templates, which I mentioned in my last video. Now, if you're wondering about what those are, I will have the links below, and definitely go back and watch those because this is a series and it will help you for sure make the most of your planning time. Because let's face it, summer, at least here in Canada, tends to be fairly short and we want to enjoy it. We don't want to be stuck in our office as much as we love it. We want to be able to do other things. All right, so let's talk templates. As much as I love systems, I also really love templates. Now, template is anything that you can use over and over and over again. You're probably very familiar with, for example, practice pages. You're not recreating this every time, right? You probably have a template, whether it's even just writing in a notebook, writing down your students' technique first. And then you write down the songs, and then you write down whatever theory they need to do, right? That's what it usually looked like when I was growing up. For my practice pages, it looks somewhat similar, but a little bit different, and it's digital. But templates, it's not just the practice pages, right? Templates, they can cover so many different things. I found that when my clients were asking questions, there were some questions that didn't come up all the time, but they came up often enough that it was annoying. I had to look back and figure out what to write. And in particular, say like around recital time or back to school or registration. I would have to recreate the wording every time. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, no. I'm going to have a template for this. Now, I didn't make anything fancy for this. I honestly went into Google Docs and I started writing out the first one. I created a heading. So for example, registration open, and then I wrote my email header, I wrote the message, and then I wrote out, the follow-up ones. If you create in Google Docs or Word or whatever it might be, you could use Pages if you're on an iOS device. You can actually put a table of contents at the top so that as you create these email templates for various things, you can actually just press on the link, the hyperlink within your document, and it'll take you down so that you don't have to do that again on your own. So yeah, emails are a great one to set up templates, practice pages, things like when you're creating a unit. So if you're creating your own resources, having a similar layout to things is really important. It helps your students get into the groove of the assignment versus trying to figure out what the assignment might be. Templates that if you get questions from new clients or potential clients, that hopefully you have those on your website, but you also have email templates or social media or whatever that can be reused, right? You can just make sure that that's all ready to go. And which also reminds me, social media. You don't need to create new images every year. Update, sure, but there's so many things that happen at our studios that are the same every year. The particular date might change slightly. For example, the first week that you start, or maybe the last week that you teach, but there's so many things that stay the same. So whether it's holidays that you like to have social media, I don't know, for Grandparents' Day maybe, saying thank you to the grandparents that attended the recital, or whether it's back to the studio after a holiday. Make sure that you create templates so that you can create those images and those messages quickly. We do need a market, but we don't want to spend a ton of time doing it because there really is a lot to do. Okay? So yeah, that's a whole bunch of ideas. What I would like you to do before you go on with the rest of your day is write down what are some things that you need to create templates for. You don't have to create them all right now, but maybe in your schedule for when you're back at work, back at teaching, maybe set aside some time. It's something I've done in my schedule that I have, an hour here, an hour there, where I can create things. And so figure out what you need templates for. If you have time over the summer, hey, create maybe for, here we are back in September or back in August. You could create that stuff and then leave the rest of it, but create it at the time that you need it. All right, I hope you have an amazing day. Make sure you come back because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the next part of this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you then.